Dr. Jekyll, he flips his personality in a minute, 1 minute, and now he's a new personality, blood is drawn, the guy's a diabetic. Biologically, that's impossible. Doctors will say that's impossible. It cannot happen. We don't know how that could happen because based on everything we do know, it's impossible for the biology to change, for a person's pancreas to stop working. Well, with your thoughts affect the physical body. We know guys like Wim Hof, the Iceman. He can lower his blood pressure, increase his blood pressure. The amazing things he can do with his mind, and many, many other masters have shown this, where they can change hormone secretion just with a thought. It defies science, but the fact is it's real. Bottom line is, there's a lot that science doesn't know, that we were taught in the Brotherhood. Most importantly, that the energy that's in your field, whether it's a vibrational frequency that's in your DNA, or a thought that you have, a subconscious thought that you're not even thinking about, can affect your body. So if you have a counterintention on the area of health, it can dramatically affect your ability to be healthy.
It was just an awakening.
My income has doubled. I'm getting close to tripling.
You can build an amazing, amazing life off of just your wishes, your command.
How much more money I'm earning and the woman that I have in my life is just miraculous.
The Wishes Your Command gave me the recipe to manifest the job that I wanted. It really just gives you the recipe.
After I finished it, my life changed. My income doubled. I make lots of money. It was like magic.
I'm making more money than I've ever had, ever.
Enlightening.
Empowering.
Powerful, but simple.
Inspiring. Activating.
After getting the wishes or command, I went from 5K on my bank account to 8 million in 1.5 years.
We know the expression, the sins of the father. If someone has a lineage that includes violent behavior, a father or grandfather, for instance, who was a murderer, is that in your DNA?
Everyone has counterintentions. Scripturally, it says the sins of the father are passed down 7 generations, which is exactly what science now has proven today. And this was in the Old Testament. So if there's trauma, if there's criminality, if there's anything that went on in your history, it's in your DNA. There's a vibrational frequency there. People don't want to talk about this, but that's the fact. So if you have somebody in your family where there was some type of violence, domestic violence, or your lineage was the Nazis and they were doing terrible things, that's in your DNA. That's vibrating in your DNA, and it could act as a counterintention on one of the bands that I previously mentioned. This is why getting those addressed and cleared out is critically important. And nobody talks about it in any book on success or personal development because, quite frankly, no one knows. We knew it in the Brotherhood, and it was a foundation. It was one of the basic foundational principles that we were taught. We were processed so that we could clear these out in our DNA and in our field. Again, not just this lifetime, but previous, so that we would be free of those counterintentions. When you're free of the counterintentions, now the sins of the father doesn't affect you anymore. You've cleared that. You're free of that. You're totally free. And now you have the ability with self-determinism to choose with deliberate intent what you want, and then, if you're willing, do the steps necessary to attain what you want without any resistance. Counterintention is invisible resistance. This way, when you clear it out, you have no more resistance. You're free then to make choices with self-determinism as to what you do really want, what goal you want to set and go after and attain. And when you apply the various techniques on, quote, manifesting what you want or achieving your goals, and there's many methods that you use that'll help you get there faster by attaining your goal faster, you don't have the resistance. You don't have the self-sabotage kicking in. You don't have subconscious counterintentions adversely affecting you. You now have a free path. All the doors are open. All you have to do is walk. You have to still walk and do the things to get there, but you don't have anything going against you.
Do you have an example of someone, perhaps someone close to you, who was able to clear their counter intentions?
My mom was afraid of water. She was petrified of water. We had a swimming pool in the back. She couldn't even walk near the swimming pool because she was afraid of the water. She couldn't take a bath. She had a hard time taking a shower. She was afraid of water. No one knew why. She couldn't go on the beach. We lived in Lynn, Massachusetts, and there was a beach there. She couldn't go to the beach. She couldn't even drive. She would drive on streets that you couldn't see the water. This is how petrified she was of water. And I asked my grandmother and all my relatives, what trauma did she have early in her life? Did she almost drown? And my grandmother said from the moment she was born, when we tried to bathe her, she would scream bloody murder. She hated water from the moment she was born. This was something she was born with. There was a trauma there. There's a counterintention. So I asked my grandmother. We went to the lineage, and guess what we found? An ancestor drowned. Drowned. There it is. In the ancestry, there was a counterintention. Now, the question that would come up was, well, if there's an ancestor that drowned, shouldn't every single person who has some of that DNA also have that sphere of water? It's a good question, but the answer is no. You have in your genes or in your DNA possibly a gene that makes you susceptible to diabetes. Somebody else has this same gene. They have diabetes and you don't, you never get diabetes. So even though two people may have the same gene, one may be active, one may be not, based on a whole other variety of factors. It's just one element. So my mom had this in her DNA. When I found this out, and since in the Brotherhood I knew how to clear these counterintentions, I said, hey, let's do something to get rid of this phobia, if you will, of water. And she said, well, it's not going to work. Well, I know how to basically match the frequency. So I matched the frequency, cleared that out, and then I said, nothing. Didn't try to push. I said, we just did it. Okay. Couple days later, I'm out in the swimming pool, and I call through the window, hey, Ma, come out here. I want to show you something. For the first time, my mother came out to the swimming pool. She never came out this room because she was afraid of the water. And I started talking to her. She didn't say anything. A couple days later, we're in the car. I go, hey, why don't we go down Linshore Drive? There's I want to go down to Swampscott. Okay, and she, for the first time, took Linshore Drive where all the water was. And she didn't say a thing. And then later, I said, hey, Mom, how do you feel about water now? Do you notice you have any different feeling about it? And she's in the kitchen, looks out the window at the swimming pool, and she goes, it's different. I go, well, let's go outside and see. She walked out without hesitation, walked over to the water. I says, splash around in the water a little bit with your hands. It was an above ground pool. And she goes, you're a magician. And I said, yeah. You clear out the counterintention, you have no more resistance.
For anyone watching this who is now aware of the possibility, in fact, the likelihood that they have some counter intentions, what's the first step that they could take to clear some of those?
Well, remember, in the Brotherhood, we knew how to do it. So there were certain people that were trained, I was one of them, that would take others and go into the field and stimulate the counterintention in the DNA and blow out the charge by matching the frequency. We would do that also in the bank. So we would do it on 33 dimensions on money, 33 levels or frequency bands for relationship, 33 for leadership, 33 for dream, etc., etc. We went through this to clear out, neutralize, transmute, and free us from all these counterintentions. This makes you Superman at the end of the day because you have no counterintention, you have no pushback, you have no resistance. Okay, I would actually go into palaces of royal families and do this to their children because the elder ones had already had it done in the Brotherhood, but they weren't trained on how to do it. They They didn't have the ability to do it to the kids. So there was me and a few others in the Brotherhood that would go around the world and do this to wealthy families in the homes. And I was in these palaces, I was in these homes where I would run these processes. All right, the average person cannot do that. I actually do this now to individuals. I actually offer this. But what can the average person do? If you have counter intentions, two things you have to consider. A counter intention is a frequency, and that frequency has to be matched, or that frequency has to be in an environment where there's a much higher frequency. Those are the two things in order for this to transmute and you to free yourself from that counter intention. So what does the average person do? Number one, to be around somebody with a very high frequency, or be in a room with people that are a very high frequency. We're not talking about going into a bar with drunks. Those are not high frequencies. We're not going to a rock concert. That's not a high frequency. That's a very low frequency. You want to be in a high frequency situation. If you go to a symphony, for example, the music, especially Baroque classical music, is a very high frequency. If you go to see a spiritual guru, doing darshan, where you are in the presence of a saint, the presence of a spiritually enlightened master, an incredibly high frequency being. That's like taking a shower. It bathes you, it cleans you. Their frequency elevates you, but it also helps to clear out some of the counter intentions. If you're in an environment with positive, motivated, health-oriented, enthusiastic, optimistic, loving people, we'll call it love. If you're in an environment where there's a lot of love, that frequency of love, if you're in a room where there's people that have that frequency, it connects one person with another, creates a bigger bubble. That energy, that cleansing environment can help clear out some of the counter intentions. And I'll give you something else. There's an aesthetic wave. That wave comes from something that has beauty. And it could be art, it could be nature, it could be a sculpture, it could be a painting, it could be flowers. Anything that has the aesthetic wave of beauty, if you are in its presence and looking at it, that actually is a wave that's going into your field at a very high frequency band.
I'm good.
It's similar to love.
Super.
It will help transmute
Just found myself
the
by
counter
myself.
intentions that you have.
I know. Well, not
100%.
anymore.
Remember, you don't have to get 100% of them clear. If you have only 10 or 20% going against you, you win. Heck, if you have only 49% going against you, you win, right? You don't have to put that as much effort. The less counterintention you have, the easier life is.
When a person begins to clear some of the counterintentions in their field, as you say, does that person actually notice a difference? How does it feel?
You feel lighter, you feel empowered, you feel powerful, you feel optimistic,
Mr. Please.
control. Your confidence in your ability to attain your goals or achieve what you want to achieve skyrockets, because you have a knowingness now that you don't have.
Am I sharing my sound?
not to have- counter any invisible resistance.
Stop it.
If you start moving toward what you want. It's like, my God. I remember not being able to see when I was a kid.
I just lost it.
No, was it normal? One day, I was squinting and the teacher said, "Can you see the blackboard?" Yeah, I can see it just fine. I thought that's how you saw the blackboard. She goes, "I want you to go down and see the eye doctor tomorrow and have an exam." And all of a sudden, I got glasses.
Okay. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Where's
Were you in
everyone?
a sell or a buy?
A buy.
Oh, super, super.
Oh, I'm super. Yes.
Yeah.
I just actually did it because earlier I was gonna do it. I did it, but I had to go out and go get my car and die. You know, when I can't like look at it, and once I'm in the hospital, I don't get the connection to see it.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I made like about $80. I didn't even know I was in a trade. I was in a trade I got out of the trade. It was like a $50 loss. And I was like, I was thinking it was gonna go down some more. I said, okay, let me wait till it go down, but it got late and I went to sleep. But I must have got back in it because I thought I was out of it. And then when I pulled up MTIP, I'm like, oh shit, 70 something. What? Hold up. When did I do that? So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and take it. And when I took it, it started going down.
Mm-hmm.
So I just came back in and I was like looking. I went to the 4 hour. I seen some fair value gaps, at least 2 above me. And then when
Yeah.
I went down, the 4 hour also had the 200 above me. And I was like, okay. When I went down though, like 1 minute, 5 minute, it's showing like they want to go down. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be more with this 4 hour thing. So I'm gonna take it up to the middle of the second fair value gap now. I don't know if I should have went, because I always think in my brain they say the higher one is the better one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had right thinking. So, but a lot of things were showing me too that it might want to sell. Like when I go down to the lower time frames, I'm like, shit, but this is looking like it want to go down. I mean, it may go down. I don't have it really good in my brain,
Mm-hmm.
but I just said, you know what? But this 4 hour is showing that the 200 is up there coming down to the top fair value gap, and that's like at the -1.8. So let me just go with that because that's how I feel I want to go. And so that's what I did. So I'm like, and I looked before I got on, I'm like, shit, is this gonna go up? Because you know, when you move down time frames, it makes you think different.
Yeah, very true. And that's why you have to really stick with one time frame like this that you wanna focus on. For me, like my 4 hour was the biggest time frame because I've been waiting for that cross to happen for the 20 to cross the 66 for us to get the upward move. And when it finally did, I just knew we are actually going up. So I did find the setup that supports my thing, and I
Hold on a
took the
minute. Let
buy.
me look real quick.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it actually just it did, and I think I came in, but it was already kind of sort of at the zero. So I thought that this is a rejection area.
Yo, Mr. Nelson. Poa sana. Kujificha.
Hey, Ann.
See,
Hey.
sorry, that was Nelson.
Was he coming?
Yeah, he's coming. He just arrived in the house late. And we also there's one of she's actually in charge of the book club. She had a burial to attend, like she had to run to where I think,
Victoria?
yeah, Victoria. She kind of lost her grandma, so she ran to,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, she's probably gonna be out for a little minute, you know,
yeah.
dealing with all of that. Condolences to her. Tell her from me.
Okay. Mhm. Hey, Anna.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'll just be here but silently as
It's
usual.
okay. It's okay. Today is just you'll actually hear us talking a lot of stuffs, but majorly the purpose for this is just to read and to study together.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. So you can just be a fly in the wall.
I will. That's what I want to
I'm
be
a
today.
fly too. I'm a fly
Yeah.
too.
Oh no,
I'm
you
a
cannot be a
I'm
fly.
a visible fly.
Not.
I'm trying to I'm trying to make money as I as I listen.
Awesome.
You in the buy?
I'm working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, Anne is just Anne is can I call her the last born?
The who?
The last born. So she just finished. I think now Anne, I've not seen your homework. You're supposed to share your markup.
I've already sent twice.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Where?
Uh-oh.
where?
Good
There.
morning.
There. Asking me where? There.
I'll actually have to check. I've not seen any notification, but I'm going to check after this.
I
Okay, please
checked on
check.
Monday, Tuesday. I got tired of checking.
Yeah,
There was
I've been
nothing.
checking as well, but I'm supposed to get like an email when something is uploaded, but I've not seen any. Make
I
sure
think
you
I did
push
one
the send
today
button
and another one on Monday.
today.
Yep.
No, I've been looking at the hub. Wait, Nelson, is something
Yeah,
fishy happening in the hub?
I wonder. I
Hey,
wonder.
Nelson.
Hi, how are you doing?
Excellent. And you, darling?
I'm good. Do I look that black?
No, you look
Yes, very black. I can't see you.
How and do you look that black? What do you mean?
Yeah, that's why I say you look black.
You look dark.
But you don't look white.
Okay,
You threw
I
me
hope
off on that question.
I hope you're good. Oh, nice. Did you make any money today?
I'm in a trade now. I made money like $80, but now I'm in another trade. A buy to the fair value gap that you love so much.
The second one on top?
The one on top.
I got out of the first one.
Yeah, it's right at the first one, but I don't know if it made it to the mid yet.
I was
Yeah,
coming
it
to your
did.
room. Yeah.
Okay. That is nice.
Okay, okay.
Is that the fly talking? Okay.
On the wall.
Yeah. Okay. Nelson, so you can take over on what we are supposed to do today, then we continue. You can just maybe brief D how we did our first session. So I think she knows.
No, I don't know. I don't know nothing.
You don't know?
Nope.
Okay, we started reading the trading in the zone. And we're just we didn't just get deep in the dungeon. Let's say we just the introduction part at around page 23.
My trading in the zone. Where is my trading in the zone? Okay.
Speaking of, where is mine?
It's on here.
Yeah, at around page 23.
23?
Yeah.
So let me see what my 23 look like. Well, how do I know which page is what? Oh, let me get to 23. Hold on.
No, so on the physical book, it is I don't know. Are you looking at the physical book? This one?
No, I'm on the Kindle.
Oh, yeah. It's okay.
So,
So it is 23. Nelson,
what does page 23 start
do
with?
I share my screen or you're going to share yours?
I'm using a new laptop. I'm even having trouble to navigate.
Okay, so I share.
Yes.
Just a minute. I open it.
Yeah, I'm black. My lord.
Where you want to be white?
I knew that was coming.
Even my grandfather is not that black.
Black is beautiful though.
Even the shadow of a white is black.
And green is black.
Sorry?
The shadow of a green.
The shadow of everything is black.
Oh no.
Mother
Okay.
Nature. Okay. So the book is.
Where's your the other student?
Oh, Victoria, she lost her grandma, so she had to run to Geshagi.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
When?
Today.
Oh.
Actually, today in the morning is when we communicated, when we were supposed to have a session with her in the morning. So
How come you don't know that, Nelson?
and their neighbors.
Yeah. Wasn't you supposed to be on in the morning too?
Not all the time.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just, I'm just saying.
Oh. Yeah, it's okay. I think I should change an angle. It's this side. I'm too
Well, you
black.
think you're gonna look white at a different angle?
At least I'm a bit brown, a little bit like you. This bad. Maybe just keep this one.
It doesn't matter. You look. Love
I have an idea.
Put a light. A light.
Yeah. Okay. Let me use this.
So, Nelson, you're going to tell me where we are supposed to be at.
Where's the beginning of 23? Because mine's is a chapter. Oh, let me wait.
Okay, just a minute. Let me see.
And yours say of 143. Mine's got 258 pages.
258 pages.
Yours is
58.
The total, I think it has, mine is, the physical one is, let's say it's just 195, but the rest of it is just like from 190. I think the book is ending at 191. Yeah.
So I don't know what does the beginning of your book say or the page say? Or am I supposed to just listen?
Okay. This one that I'm sharing is
PDF.
You're now on 20.
You want to see the beginning?
I want to see whatever. I don't know where you at, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Nelson, did you take a screenshot?
You said you thing normally do the.
Yeah, I did highlighted it, and it normally does that, but there's something I did weirdly the other day. I kind of refreshed everything, so it refreshes everything. Even my highlights of the books will not show.
And remember, you assured me that you will never forget. So I was counting on you.
My bad. Coffee on me tomorrow.
Dish is laughing because she knows. That was a trap.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was we were almost at a certain subtopic at page 20. 23. What page
I
is this
think
now?
on my physical book I did I guess I did highlight it. Yeah. Yes, I think we were talking about a paradox. That is page 20, paragraph 1, 2, 3, paragraph 3.
Page 20.
Why are emotional pain and financial disaster common among traders? That's how the subtopic
I
starts.
don't know how.
Let me.
I have a question for D.
Okay.
So D, when you first read this book, what were you thinking? You will
I
get.
didn't read the whole book, first of all. I don't remember. I'm being honest. I know I got the book. I started reading it and I stopped. And so I don't even really remember, honest.
For me, it was a bit funny. So I got it from David, and he was telling me, when you read this book, you will be good at trading. So I knew there was a certain thing like a zone, the strategy called a zone. So I read the book, and I was like,
where's
the
the
book is
zone?
almost finished. Yeah, where is the
I think it's in your head.
Yeah.
I'm thinking because I don't think this is pretty much talking about trading.
Yeah.
But your mental while trading.
Exactly.
That's what I think without even have read the whole book. Or even I don't even know how far I got in the book, but I'm thinking trading in the zone. Like if your mind ain't proper, your actions won't be proper. And it's kind of true because I know a lot of times I get in the trade, it'll start going a different way than I wanted it to go. And instead of me, believing in my strategy and my thought process and just having a positive vibe about it, I'll jump out of it, take a loss. Then I just trying to chase and so I don't really know exactly what the book is, but I'm thinking that it's more that trading is more mental than physical. And
Yeah, exactly.
and that's where what I think about the book.
Yeah, it is more mental because you have to remember.
Okay,
Remember
so
what? Wait. Remember what?
You have to remember, let's say what you have learned, you have to remember when you want to put it in place. You have to, like you're trading, this is a supply zone. You have to remember it is a supply zone, and what do you do it as a supply zone? You have to sell at the supply zone. If you don't remember that, then you're out because those things are there, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I think this is the paragraph that we were supposed to be jumping on now.
The logical.
Yeah.
I see that's going to be kind of hard for me because I don't know where the logical is, what page it is for me.
If I don't know which version you're using, but can you try your page 21? Because on my physical book is page 21, as well as my PDF.
So I'm on page 21 and no, not. It's not.
Okay, what is your page 21 saying?
The top says the first paragraph, the full one says, this may seem like a tall order, and to some of you, it may even seem impossible, but it's not.
Okay, let me find you where that is. That is the first sentence?
The first full paragraph sentence.
Okay.
This may seem like a tall order. Okay, so on my page 19,
Mm-hmm.
I have a heading that says the shift to mental analysis.
Uh-huh. So ours, that is on page 16.
So yours is on
So
16. So
so just flip it.
24,
Are you able to see, in fact, the difference between these two groups of traders?
on what page?
So you have to count like how many paragraph to from the shift to this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Okay, I
13.
got it.
You
It's on
got it?
page 25 for me. The logical answer. Now,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's not the top, like yours is the top, but it's the first paragraph after, because the page started with a continuation from the prior page. But I
Yes.
see like the logical answer to the question is, and that's my
Yeah,
page
yeah.
25.
Okay. Okay. So we can continue from this, and maybe also D, if you want this PDF that we have, I can also share with you, or you can share us yours, then we go with yours. But
Mine's is on a Kindle, so I don't have it.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Uh-huh. Okay. I think we are also able to share with you. I'll send you this PDF as well on your WhatsApp.
And this way it will follow the way you guys follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So Nelson,
Yes.
just maybe D, how we do it, we just read where we find like maybe we are not understanding the words and everything. We try to check the meaning of the words. We discuss
Okay.
a little bit about it, and no
Okay.
rush. We are not rushing to finish the book. We just want to understand, because for me this is like the biggest phase in trading, the psychology part. We know the skills, we know everything, but the psychology part is really what we really have to challenge ourselves, and that's why our focus mostly is here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Nelson, this was your
Mhm.
ball. Take us through.
Okay. So the logical to the question is, oh no, it feels like it started in the middle.
Yeah, but that's what I was about to ask. What question?
Yeah, can we go a little bit up?
Yep.
Or back?
Yeah, a little bit back so that we can start at.
Up.
Oh no.
I
You went
think we
too
can
far.
start with.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let me find that. Why is emotional? Okay, I have it. That's my page 24.
Okay.
Why
Okay.
are both?
Why?
Okay, Nelson.
Why are emotional pain and financial disaster common among traders? The simple answer is that most of us weren't fortunate enough to start our trading careers with the proper guidance. However, the reason go much deeper than this. I have spent the last 17 years dissecting the psychological dynamics behind trading so that I could develop effective method for teaching the principle of success. What I have discovered is that trading chock full of paradoxes and contradictions in thinking that make it extremely difficult to learn how to be successful. In fact, if I had to choose one, if I had to choose one word, what was this word?
Encapsulates.
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 Encapsulate. Yeah. It does
It
that
covers
mean
it.
it
It covers
yeah,
it
that
up.
includes
Yeah. Yeah, it surrounds it.
in general.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Encapsulate the nature of trading, it will be paradox. What is a paradox, by the way?
for me, a paradox is like more of like a puzzle game that,
A
you
puzzle,
know,
yeah.
yeah, like a puzzle. You know, you remember how we used to play Sudoku on those magazines.
Yes.
So you're trying to solve a very complex thing, like yeah.
Okay. According to the dictionary, a paradox is something that seems to have contradictory qualities or that is contrary to common belief or what generally makes sense to people. Financial and emotional disaster are common among traders because many of the perspectives, attitudes, and principles that would otherwise make perfect sense and work quite well in our daily lives have the opposite effect in trading environment.
Yeah.
They just don't work. Not knowing this, most traders start their careers with a fundamental lack of understanding of what it means to be a trader, the skill that are involved, and the depth to which those skills needed to be developed.
Yeah.
Developed. Mm. Here is a prime example of what I am thinking about. Trading is inherently risky. To my knowledge, no trade has a guarantee outcome. Therefore, the possibility of being wrong and losing money is always present. So, when you put on a trade, can you consider yourself a risk trader?
A risk
A risk,
taker.
okay, a risk taker, even though this may
David.
what?
Oh, sorry. I was focusing on inherently risky. What does that mean?
It is risky. It's like almost built into it.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
by nature.
Yeah.
The fastest way to lose your money.
Yeah, sounds like a trick question. It is not. The logical answer to this question is equivocally yes. If I engage,
Unequivocally.
eh?
Unequivocally.
Unequivocally. Ah,
Unequivocally. What does that mean?
Like so I want to define it. It to be like it is what it is. It like it's unequivocally like
Uh-huh.
to me like
what is the word?
in the way that it leaves no doubt. Like it
Oh,
is
in
what
a
it
way.
is. Like
Uh-huh. Okay. Oh yeah, it is what it is. Like it is a fact. Okay.
yeah, pretty
It
much.
isn't.
Okay.
Okay.
Condemn violence in a protest. This message should be unequivocally clear. Like, okay, should be straightforward. Okay, get it.
So they
Awesome.
saying the logical answer is unequivocally yes. Like no, it is yes. Point blank. Period.
Yeah.
Unequivocally.
Unequivocally.
Oh, my English teacher.
Yeah.
Not unequivocal. Okay, unequivocally. Yes.
You got it.
Thanks. So
my tongue will have been out by now. Like
equivocally. I'll remember that.
So we learning this and we learning English because to
Yeah.
me, I know even though you speak perfect English, Nelson, so you know, I know it's certain words that you may not pronounce properly, and you know that's where I come in.
awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
Thanks. That's awesome. Equivocally. Okay. If I engage in an activity that is inherently risky, then I must be a risk taker. This is a perfect, reasonable assumption for any trader to make. Yeah. In fact, not only do virtually all traders make this assumption, but most traders take pride in thinking of themselves as risk takers. The problem is that this assumption couldn't be further from the truth. Of course, any trader is taking a risk when you put on a trade, but but that doesn't mean that you are correspondingly accepting that risk. In other words, all trades are risky because the outcomes are probable, not
probable.
guaranteed.
Yeah,
Huh?
you're right. No, go ahead.
Yeah, not guaranteed. But do most traders really believe they are taking a risk when they put on a trade? Have they really accepted that the trade has a non-guarantee probable outcome? Furthermore, have they fully accepted the possible consequences? The answer is unequivocally no.
You go, boy.
Yeah.
See?
I know she was looking at me like, okay, let me hear that.
There
I
you
really
go.
was. I'm just like, okay, let's see.
Okay. Most traders have absolutely no concept of what it means to be a risk taker in the way a successful trader thinks about risk. The best traders not only take the risk, they have also learned to accept and embrace the risk. There is a huge psychological gap between assuming you are a risk taker because you put on trades and fully accepting the risk inherent in each trade. When you fully accept the risk, it will have profound implications on your bottom line performance. That's good.
Wow.
The best.
I actually love just this part. So I don't know if any of you wants to break it down a little bit on how you are catching it or understanding it.
So the way and you know, sometimes I gotta kind of read it, but just on the surface, it's like, you know, most people, and I hear it from a lot of people too, when I talk about trading, like you taking a risk. It's just like gambling at the casino. But I'm believing that what he's saying, and plug up my computer, what he's saying is successful traders, they know there's a risk, you know, because everything is probable, and that you prepare yourself for the risk. And I guess that's the risk management part of it.
Yeah.
Like, so when you prepare yourself for the risk, you already accepting the fact that there's a possibility that you may lose $100. I'm just saying. And you okay with that. And so, and that's something I got to work with too, because, you know, when stuff go up, I'm getting there though, because now, like, I ain't holding no trade like big, but I'm thinking for the most part, you know, I'll make that like my risk. So if I lose it, then I'm okay with it. You know, I have to be okay with it mentally, because if you're not okay with it mentally and you lose it, it may stop you from trading.
Yeah.
And then it may make you say, you know what, this is some BS. You know, this is like the casino, because you haven't prepared yourself mentally that you're ready to lose that $100. All you want to do is know that I'm going to make 300. And that's where your heart is, that 300. Your heart ain't trying to feel losing $100, because a loss is a loss and that's your money. Yeah. A win is a win and that's your money, but you know, it's on the positive side. So you haven't prepared yourself mentally for the $100 loss. And so it may tend to, and it's true, it will hinder your success, because you'll lose that $100, and when you get into another trade and it go to like 30 negative, you might be ready to jump the hell out. And then when it got to like $40, it went back around and you would have won your $300. But because you remember that loss, that the loss stick with you more than the win. Well, the win sticks with you, but the loss hits you harder
Yeah.
when you lose it. So that's what I think.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, me as well, because I think this is where it's always it's like the game changer. Like with Nelson, I was sharing with you whatever I was trying to work with, risking the 0.5, 1%, blah blah blah. Actually, it changes the game when
Wow.
you.
0.5 and 1. You go, boy.
Oh no, it's 0.5% of your account. Like there is
Oh.
yeah.
I thought you meant a lot size.
No, no, no.
So what is okay? 0.5%.
That is just
0.5.
that. Yes, that
I
is
thought it was like
just
a 1 to 3%.
no, no, no. Because that is a very different topic.
Yeah, because sometimes if
Yeah.
you look at it like that,
Mhm.
a lot of times according to where you start, and you just won't be able to trade. Period.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you really have to really break it down. Like for me, it's a prop firm. So me risking 0.5% is basically just risking $30 in every trade.
0.5.
Yes, it's
Of what amount?
of 600K, that is $30.
Oh, you got a prop thing? Well, see, I ain't got
Yes.
no 600K. Where you get that prop?
Sorry, not 600K, sorry, 6K.
6,000.
Oh, I
Oh.
said 600. Oh no.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, oh no, what prop firm is that?
Yeah, sorry, of 6K. So basically, I was just doing a breakdown. You risk $30 to gain $60. You only need 10 trades
Wait,
for you
let
to
me
Right, but if you
qualify.
do that and you lose $30, that's nothing. Like you really gotta be on point.
Yeah, and it's
Point.
pretty much easier, especially when you're trading gold. You can actually see when you are actually framing your stop loss and everything, it works like
I
perfectly.
gotta learn that better because
And it's
I'm not in my because of everything that's going on. I'm not really in my real
Mhm.
account.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with doing my demo account. I still get
Mhm.
the same feeling when I win and
Yeah.
when I lose.
Mhm.
But even with that, mine is around 9,000, and I don't even see, well, what that would be. You say 6,000 is $30. So even $50 or whatever.
Yeah. So you see why 0.5, like whatever I was just trying to break down is because of, you know, when you're given like a prop firm, you're not really given the 6K because you have a
Testing.
daily you have a daily drawdown that you have to go to. Like in this case, it's 3%, and 3% it's only $180. So it's like that day you're only trading $180. If you go 180, you've blown that account. That's why we risk that low.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wait. So you got a $6,000 account, and if
Yes.
you authorize to trade 3%, that's what you said?
That is I mean you're not
0.5%.
I mean if your daily drawdown, if you lose more than 180
Uh-huh.
in one day, you've
Uh-huh.
blown the account.
Okay. In one day?
Yes.
How? You got $6,000.
Yeah, that is 6,000. That's why they're just giving you like to really have that discipline of not losing more than 3% a day.
Okay. So you
You
can
get it?
that's not bad though. Cause
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to really lose $180. I'm thinking I don't want to lose 100. That would be my okay. All right.
Yeah.
And maybe I need to look at that a little bit more. I haven't really maybe sometimes I've gotten over 100. Like one time I think I lost 120. Um, but I try not to. sometimes I think when it's getting to that area, I just say, you know what? Let me come out. I'll take a loss, but it won't be $150 loss.
Mhm.
It'll be, you know, 50 or 80. Yeah, okay, let me get out of this thing because it's going against what I did, and maybe I should wait till it get down where I think it was going and then try to come back in and fight another day.
Yeah. Yeah, so just maybe to go back on the book is like this part, when you fully accept the risk, it will have a profound implication on your bottom line performance. It's just like I have a famous guy that I follow so much, that is Jim Rohn. He says everything is risky, even life is risky. At the end, we are all going to die. So the moment you fully accept that,
Mm-hmm.
actually changes the game. So because like for me, if I lose $60, the trade that I'm always taking 2 trades a day. I lose $60. I lose I I lost the first trade $30. I lost the next trade $30. I don't trade that day.
You stop.
I don't push the bottom again on that and just go recollect myself. I'll try to find something else tomorrow.
And
So
I've
saying you
seen it.
won't go back in if you see that, okay, maybe the direction you was going it is not happening, but like where do you think it's going, and then analyze that to see like maybe is the trend going to be up, or do you think that, okay, this trade is going against me, it's a wrap, let me just sit back and wait and see what happens.
Yeah, technically is let's say I entered I entered a trade and it went all against me. Sometimes you tend to think that, okay, now that I've realized it's not going to my thing, it's going the opposite way. You'll find yourself now jumping to the opposite side, trying to
I
chase.
used to do that. I
Yeah.
used to, and I'm gonna be quite honest. And I'm not even gonna say that even that long ago. Because sometimes when you take that law, you like, okay, you always got that mental, okay, I'm gonna get in and I'm gonna win this next one to get my money
Yeah.
back. But I I'm learning to just, even when I see it's going against me, just be patient, which I didn't do last night because it was at $50 loss, and I was like, I everything told me that sucker was going up, but it was doing a retracement, and I'm like, okay, so now I'm going down to the things to see, okay, where can this thing retrace back to? And I knew in my spirit it was the 236, right? It was close to the 236, and I kind of knew it, but then I freak around and go down to a different time frame, and then it's showing me that, oh, it might can go to the 50, right? So now in my brain it's like, dang, I don't want to lose that much, so let me just get out the trade and let it get down there, and we'll call it a day. When I woke up this morning, even though I was in a trade and didn't realize, when I woke up this morning, I just looked at the chart and I said, ain't this you know what I said? And I was like, it went right where I said it was going. And if I would have just closed my eyes and just let the damn thing play, I would have had more of a win, because I think that would have slated me to like $140 something, 148. So I wind up with like 70 something at the end of the day. And I can't tell you when I jumped back in. Maybe that was just subconsciously I jumped back in because I did not believe I was in a trade this morning. And then when I just went to look to place a trade, I was like, oh shoot, I'm in a trade, $78. And then I said, you know what? Now, because I'm all discombobulated, I really didn't look at the chart. I really didn't mark it up. Let me just get out of this thing. I got $78. Let me just call it Christmas. And that's what I did. And it went the other way. So I was like, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. So that is what happens. And We really have to stick by our thing. So we can continue. Nelson, do you want some help or
Yes, of course.
you're good? Okay. So I'll take over and then maybe D will help us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So, okay. The best traders can put on a trade without the slightest bit of hesitation or conflict, and just as freely and without hesitation. Oh, am I repeating?
No, you're right.
Oh, and just as freely and without hesitation or conflict admit it isn't working. They can get out of the trade even with a loss, and doing so doesn't resonate the slightest bit of emotional discomfort. In other words, the risk inherent in the risk inherent in trading do not cause the best traders to lose their discipline, focus, or sense of confidence. If you are unable to trade without the slightest bit of emotional discomfort, specifically fear, then you have not learned how to accept the risk inherent in trading.
That is
This
so
is
true.
This is a big problem because to whatever degree you haven't accepted the risk, in this same degree to which you will avoid the risk, trying to avoid something that is unavoidable will have disastrous effect on your ability to trade successfully. Wow. Learning to truly accept the risk in any endeavor can be difficult, but it is extremely difficult for traders, especially considering what's at stake. What are we generally most afraid of besides dying or public speaking? Certainly, losing money and being wrong both rank close to the top of the list. Admitting we are wrong and losing money to boot can be extremely painful and certainly something to avoid. Yet, as traders, we are confronted with these two possibilities virtually every moment we are in a trade. Now, you might be saying to yourself, apart from the fact that it hurts so much, it's natural to not want to be wrong and lose money and lose something. Therefore, it's appropriate for me to do whatever I can do or whatever I can to avoid it. I agree with you, but it is also the oh, sorry, why am I losing? Why am I going ahead of the book? Okay.
But it is also.
But it is also natural. It is also this natural tendency that makes trading, which looks like it should be easy, extremely difficult. Trading present as much fundamental paradox. Oh, I know why. I'm trying to read its specs, so the words are very big. Okay. I agree with you, but it is also this natural tendency that makes trading, which looks like it should be easy, extremely difficult. Trading presents as much fundamental paradox. How do we
With
remain
a
disciplined?
Fundamental.
Trading presents us with a fundamental paradox.
Oh yeah, trading presents us with a fundamental paradox. Yeah. How do we remain disciplined, focused, and confident in the face of constant uncertainty?
Uncertainty.
Oh, uncertainty. Uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
Like you say uncertain, but uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty. Like uncertainty. Like
Uncertainty. Uncertainty. Wow.
Not like that.
Okay, when you have learned how to think like a trader, that's exactly what you'll be able to do. Learning how to redefine your trading activities in a way that allows you to completely accept the risk in the key of thinking like a successful trader. Learning to accept the risk is a trading skill. the most important skill you can learn, yet it's rare that developing traders focus. Wow. Learning to
Focus.
accept the trading.
You didn't finish
Uh-huh.
the sentence. Yet it's
Oh,
rare that developing traders focus, and it has an end.
mhm. Oh yeah, I think it's there. Any attention or expend any effort to learn it. Just wanna combine these two. I'm losing the book. Okay. Trying to remove your images in front of my thing. There we go. Yet it's rare that developing traders focus any attention or expend any effort to learn it. Is
Yeah.
this word spelled correct? Expend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What does it
That
mean?
means that means to expand your knowledge. You know what I mean?
Or like to expand?
It's like really expand in a sense. Expend
Okay.
any effort. Like you don't do what you got to do to learn it.
Uh-huh.
You don't
Uh-huh.
put any effort. You don't put the effort into really learning. You don't
Mm-hmm.
focus
Uh-huh.
no attention or put any energies to learn that.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when you learn the trading skill of risk acceptance, the market will not be able to generate information that you define or interpret as painful. If the information the market generates doesn't have the potential to cause you emotional pain, there's nothing to avoid. It is just information telling you what the possibilities are. This is called an objective perspective, one that is not skewed or distorted by what you are afraid is going to happen or not happen.
Yeah, so it's like if you lose the trade, oh well. If you win the trade, good.
Yeah.
You keep that same feeling. And to be quite honest though, it is easier, even though I told you I'm in my demo, it's only because I'm not focusing a whole lot. Even though I get the same feeling when I win, it's like, yeah, I won $300, I won $150. And when I lose, damn, I lost $80. But I know it ain't real in my
Yeah.
brain, even though I try to make like it's real. Now I'm quite sure that when I flip back over to my real, those emotions got to be put in check. Which I'll
Yeah.
be okay to lose, but the only thing is, it's no only thing. I'll be okay to lose, but hopefully the account don't just dissipate. But as it does, which I was doing when I started trading. Okay, I lose $2,000, I'm putting back into $2,000, or you know what I mean. But it comes a point where I was telling myself, okay, forget that. I don't want to keep putting in $2,000 and losing $2,000. I want to be able to say, okay, because I would go down to like maybe, I don't know, let's say even $900, and I'm like, let me put 2,000 in. So now I got 29, right? And so now my chest is a little bit bigger, and I can accept the loss a little bit better. But when it started diminishing back down, and I was doing it, I was putting the money in, and I said to myself, you know what? Let me just go down on my lot size, because that was a big thing. Let me just go down on my lot size. And if I win $30, I win freaking $30. And when I settle, because I'm still engaged, when I settle myself from the other stuff that I'm doing to the point where I could focus a little bit more, I'm going to go back to my real account. Like right now, I only trade, like I trade a 0.02. Maybe I'll go 0.01 to start. And maybe I won't win $100. I'll win 50 or 30 until I'm like, okay, all right, I'm good. And if I lose that 50, all right, I lost the 50. And I'm gonna try my best to stay focused a little bit more to not lose the 50. It kind of helps you, it teaches you in a sense to be more cognizant of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And I think here about trying to be always right and many other things. I think I was reading another article whereby the guy was explaining about the dopamine effect and how we ourselves sometimes create it for
Ourselves.
ourselves. So sometimes you might be good in the skills, you might be doing everything okay, but there there are actually other this psychological effect that comes with it.
Yes.
That is like for me, and I was tracing it back, trying to trace it back, and I saw actually it was really true. And the biggest thing was, I don't know, it's psychological thing of trying to, how you feel when you had a good setup and the trade is playing out. You find yourself, you're in a good trade, everything, then you find yourself, you're taking screenshots, you want to post it, you want to
And then it
post
go
it
the other way.
like you had it good, it is that dopamine effect of always, and you'll find yourself maybe any other time you're jumping into a trade you're trying, is because you have that high expectations of
Yeah.
you want to post, you want to win this, you want to be right, and it makes you to be, so you'll find yourself, if you're actually in a bad trade, you find yourself not jumping out of that trade because of that dopamine effect that you wanted to get. So you find yourself always adjusting your stop loss, always trying to do this,
Yeah.
always trying to do this
Yeah.
because of that. And
Yeah.
I've been really working on that, and I'm seeing, that thing, it can really affect, especially when you're new, when you're coming in new and you're trying to do this thing. And if you don't follow those patterns,
Yeah. But
that
it
thing
also
can. Mhm.
it also works the other way too, because if you in a trade and it was going in your direction and then it turns around and
Yeah.
we have retracements, but then it's kind of going because you really don't really have a good foundational thing to to trade. Like you only going on what you know at this moment. You haven't
Yeah.
really learned a lot of things. So that dopamine effect also, that pain, because now you're in $30 loss. Okay, how much loss am I really want to take? Now your stop loss is where your stop loss was, and maybe your stop loss was $50, but do I want to lose 50? Maybe I'll just take my $30 loss and call it Christmas. And then it gets to like 48 and goes right where you wanted it to go. So that effect also hinders you moving forward on another trade. You kind of scared. So you going in the trade scared now, not really confident, not really. It's like, okay, I think it's gonna, I think it's gonna go here. I think it's gonna do this. And the minute it's like normally it's gonna retrace, but the minute it start retracing, you like, I don't know. $20.
Analysis
Okay. You know
paralysis. Yeah.
what? Let me get out of I'll take the $20 loss and maybe I'll get into it, when it hit bottom, which we don't really know what bottom is. So it can work that dopamine effect for the good and it
Yeah.
can work for the negative, and the negative will take you out of the trading game. That's why a lot of people start trading. And, like in the beginning, although I had more money in my account, I was good. I was like $2,000 a day, a trade. Okay, $6,000. Like I actually was making some really good money. And then I started on that same note losing. I thought I was on with you one day. You talked me out of that trade. I was already down over $1,000, and I'm like, yeah, but I know it's gonna go back up. That thing, I know it's gonna go back up. And you was like, D, you sure you want to keep losing the money? And I was like, well, no, I don't want to lose the money. And then you put that in my head. Then I'm saying to myself, damn, but I really don't want to lose no more money. And what did I do? I dropped out of the trade over $1,000. And what the hell did it do right after? And I told you,
Excellent.
David, if you would have never said shit to me, I'd have been in that trade and I would have been good because at that time, so what? I lost $1,000. You know, now I ain't saying that shit, but back
Yeah.
then it was like, okay, I'm down at 1,000 because my mindset was it wasn't so much a good strategy I had. I didn't have that. I was too new in the game. It was is eventually got to turn back around. So if I just hold this thing, you know, I'm steady watching it go to $1,200. Dang, it got to go back around. And that's not a good way to do trading at
Yeah.
all. But, you know, because, you know, it could have kept going down. Had I have kept it, yeah, I would have been probably had my $1,000 back. But it's like, do you want to, you now faced with, okay, you $1,200 down. Do you want to go $1,500 down? Do you want to go $2,000 down? You know, that's your money. That was my real money. That wasn't
Yeah.
no demo money. And so, you know, that just comes with, I think sometimes in the beginning is luck. And when
Yeah.
you get lucky like 10 times, you think you the shit. And then when you get unlucky
It
10
pisses you.
times, but the one thing I can say, well, even though I am on my demo and I put that to the fact that I really want to learn the strategy well. And when I'm doing good on a demo and I'm making decent money on a demo and losing, but not nowhere near what I'm winning, I'm more comfortable in my brain. I'm going to take those same strategy steps, those same strategy trades, and, you know, I should be better. So to me, you got to really learn your strategy. And I don't have a problem with while I'm learning my strategy to the best, because every time you turn around, here you come with something else, David, versus the box, then is it this, then is it that, now it's the MAs, now is it. So you so full of wanting to look at everything, like you want to incorporate everything that you lose yourself. So until I find myself, which I'm doing pretty good, I'm doing pretty good, even though I'm not connected that much, you know, then I'll go back to live, because at the end of the day, this is not my livelihood. Like, I don't depend on this to live. I don't never want to be in a position that I'm a trader and I depend on unless I'm like Dookie Dope, the shit. Like I got it. Like, but I don't want to do that. I would like to say a hobby for me.
Yeah.
Right? It's a hobby for me, but I still want to win in the hobby. Like when I shoot pool, I want to win the game.
Yeah.
And that's a hobby for me. I don't like to play pool for money, you know, because I guess now money makes it different.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, awesome. So, you want us, we go a little bit more. So maybe I'll just read this next paragraph and then maybe D, you can take us through the last one.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sure there isn't one trader reading this book who hasn't gotten into trades too soon.
Or too late.
Before the market has actually generated a signal, or too late, long after the market has generated a signal. What trader hasn't convinced himself not to take a loss and as a result had it turn into a bigger one? Oh, wait, was this guy reading what we were talking before?
I know, and I didn't.
Was he listening to us? Okay.
Must be.
Okay. Or got out of a winning trade too soon. That is me on my gold buy.
Yeah.
When?
Yeah. Today?
Let me see. Oh, it's probably closed now. And in the 4,
Yeah.
it's still saying it's still at the same place. Let me see what the one is. I'm just looking, but y'all could talk. just to keep, because the market is closed, so it's not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what trader hasn't confused himself to sell or got out of a winning trade too soon, or found himself in winning trades but didn't take any profit at all?
That's
Nelson.
me.
Every time. We do it every time.
But I don't know how to take, I guess for me, I haven't learned how to take, I just take the profit. Like this morning when I seen that $78, I didn't say, well, let me just take $30. Now forget that mess. I'm taking my $78, and if it go down, then I'll get back in. So I have not gotten to that point where I have learned to take partial or learn to, like you say, move stop loss. Like I haven't gotten there yet. So
Yeah, I think that one comes with I was reading another thing when one trader was talking about something, and that's when I started realizing about that. That one comes when you've identified systems for yourself. You know your targets, because now you see me, I'm talking about the prop firm, the 0.5 and whatever. So you can imagine I was risking $30, okay, in order to gain $60. My trade is up $50. Why won't I secure $30?
how do you do it?
You just go to the time frame, because you don't want that thing to reach $50 and come back and go back to
zero.
Yeah. So what do
You
you do to take partial?
We'll go into that strategy on how we go on
Another
how to
day.
do that and how to secure something. You can just analyze like if you have a good system on how you're really trading, you'll actually know if this happens. That is, if you have already analyzed your chart and be able to know that, okay, this might happen. This is a level that this price might do this, price might do this at this level. And if you see such a thing start happening, before it even happens, you're able to hop out and call it a day.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Where am I? Or found himself in winning trades but didn't take any profit at all, and then let the trades turn into losses. Yeah. Losers. Or moved stop losses closer to his entry point, only to get stopped out and have the market go back in his direction. Yeah, that has happened. Yeah, that has happened a lot of times to me. But normally when I do that and that happens, right now I don't condemn myself, because first of all, I've secured something.
I just got to learn how to do that. Like how to do that. Because then if you secure something, right? Like say if you got in, just say a 0.01, and just say you $50 up and you decide to take $30. Are you still in a 0.01, or now you in a 0.00 something?
Once it was 0.1, you cannot take partials.
Okay,
You
let's
can,
say,
yeah.
let's
You
say
can only move your
5.
stop loss maybe. Yeah,
So,
0.05, you can decide to take partials.
so
So
now your rest of your
0.01.
trade is not a 0.05 anymore. Is like
Yeah, the rest of your trade will be
0.025.
0.04.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, all right.
Okay. So these are but a few of many errors traders perpetuate upon themselves time and time again. These are not market generated errors. That is, these errors do not come from the market. The market is neutral in the sense that it moves and generates information about itself. Movement and information provide each of us with the opportunity to do something, but that's all. The markets don't have any power over the unique way in which each of us perceives and interprets this information, or control of the decisions and actions we take as a result. The errors I already mentioned many more are strictly the result of what I call faulty trading attitudes and
Perspectives.
perspectives. Faulty attitudes that foster fear instead of trust and confidence. Wow.
Yep.
I don't think I could put this difference between the consistent winners and everyone else more simply than this. The best traders aren't afraid. They aren't afraid because they have developed attitudes that give them the greatest degree of mental flexibility to flow in and out of trades based on what the market is telling them.
About possibility, about the
About
possibility.
the possibilities from its perspective. At
100%.
the same time, the best traders have developed attitudes that prevent them from getting reckless. Everyone else is afraid at some degree or another. When they are not afraid, they have the tendency to become reckless and create the kind of experience for themselves that will cause them to be afraid from that point on.
Yep.
95% of trading errors you are likely to make causing the money to just evaporate before your eyes will stem from your attitudes about being wrong. Losing money, missing out, and leaving money on the table, what I call the 4 primary trading fears. Now, where did I go?
Just a little bit.
I pushed the wrong button. Okay, now you may be saying to yourself, I don't know about this. I've always thought traders should have a healthy fear of the market. Again, this is perfectly logical and reasonable assumption. But when it comes to trading, your fears will act against you in such a way that you will cause the very thing you are afraid of to actually happen. Oh my God.
That's powerful.
Very true.
Wow. If you're
you start
afraid of being wrong, your fear will act upon your perfection of market information in a way that will cause you to do something that ends up making you wrong.
Where are you? No. Just show me.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
too big.
Okay.
Okay. So we're starting from here. Okay.
No, we have to
Your
start
fear.
from if you are afraid.
Oh,
Can't
yeah.
start middle of a sentence.
If you're afraid of being wrong, your fear will act upon your perception of market information in a way that will cause you to do something that ends up making you wrong. When you are fearful, no other possibilities exist. You can't perceive other possibilities or act on them properly. Even if you did manage to perceive them, because fear is immobilizing, physically, it causes us to freeze or run. Mentally, it causes us to narrow our focus of attention to the object of our fear. Wow. Everything in this book is just psychological.
But it's
Trading in this
teaching
book.
you how you missed this at the beginning of the sentence. But
Yeah.
it's teaching you because what he's saying is actually what each and every one of us is dealing with. Like we're dealing with it. What it's saying to me in a sense is when you put in your trade and you put in your stop loss, this is the part that is I'm going to say maybe a little difficult, more difficult for me in a sense. Like when you put in your trade and you put in your stop loss, if you're looking at, you don't want to lose but $50, but you know that stop loss may lose you $80. So you just don't take the trade? You know, because say you looking at the MAs and you know your $50 will put you too high up when you know price is coming from the 20 going down to the 66, and you know that 66 is, you want to put your or let's say up or whatever, whichever, just say you want to put your stop loss under the 66 because you feel that's
Yeah.
where it's coming to, and pretty much if it comes to that probability it may turn back around, but that under that 66 you're gonna lose like $90.
Yeah.
So you just can't take that trade.
Yeah, and that discipline, I'm getting it from doing prop farms because of, sometimes how you are like, okay, you have the fear of missing out. Like, like your biggest institution is telling you this trade might first come to these areas before it goes to this area. You've actually figured it out in your brain already, and you know about that.
Yeah.
Now, an issue comes with your risk now. Should I get in where it is so that I don't miss on this move that I'm seeing going up?
Right, miss all that money.
Yeah, but if I enter here and it decides to retrace to what I was thinking, then I'm going to lose a lot.
Right.
So you're kind of caught up,
In a
and
rock
gold,
and a hard stone.
yeah, and gold will manipulate you. So when that thought has just come in your brain and you've analyzed that thing like that, gold will manipulate you very funnily. Gold will start going up to your target areas.
Yep.
Then you're like, oh, I knew I should have jumped in. Then what does it do? It comes back to the same area that
Yep.
you are still, then you're like, okay, I think this time I should just take it because it seems like it wants now to just go. Then the moment you enter is when it's doing the retracement.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's why I think, to me, it's not the best thing to me to learn on my real account, even though most people say that you won't get the feel, and it's true to a certain extent, you won't get the feel on a demo because the demo is like Monopoly money. Okay, if I lose, I ain't really lose nothing. If I win, I ain't really win nothing. But at the end of the day, because it's more of a hobby for me, I want to learn it to where it may become my money maker, but I want to learn it. And some of the best traders that there is out there took years to learn what we trying to learn in 2 months, in 6 months, or a year even. It took them years to finally get it. Like we might get this part of it, and we good at this part of it, but that's just a piece of the puzzle. And then there's the thing of the manipulation aspect of it all. As you know, the big money people, the big wigs, they see everything. They see where most of the stop losses are. They see where most of the entries are. They see how many is buying and how many is selling. And they can tend to, even though everything is right, has a high probability, because who knows right or wrong.
Yeah.
That's another factor that we can't incorporate, because we don't know what they're going to be doing or what they're going to be thinking, or if they need a little bit more money, or if they trying to earn some money. So you know what? Let me just drop this down to here. Let's swoop up all these stop losses you see down there. Let us make $1 million on that. Then we'll let the price go where it is intended to go, and we have no control over that. We can't really. I mean, we could see areas where uh uh where they have liquidity. We could see, the lines. Okay, we got some liquidity down here, so price may probability to go down there. But I know you've been in, maybe not in the trade. I have, where it's going up, price just goes all the way down, sweeps up all that stuff. Then the same candle wicks all the way back up to where you were.
Yeah.
And we have no, I guess that goes back into the point of, if you say you're gonna lose $50 and that move lost you $50, then you take your $50 and loss and keep it moving. And to realize that it really wasn't, you wasn't really wrong on your strategy. It was just, to me, like a manipulation, because there is manipulation in the market.
Yeah, and actually that was something I've been trying to battle so much, because trying to study these other big traders and reading these so many other things is when, first of all, that is the concept I'm trying so much to erase in my mind, that there's always somebody outside there trying to hunt my stop loss. And I think, Nelson, it's you, we were having this discussion. I was following the guy. He calls himself, what is it, the King of Wall Street something, and he was giving some very nice advice about, like, there's somebody watching a stop loss, there's these. Technically, that is the thing that we learn a lot, especially when coming into this trading industry. That's why we say institutions here and here and here. And we tend to trade with another perception that there's somebody outside there who is going to manipulate to take our money. And psychologically, it affects us as well. When we are losing trades, we don't tend to take responsibility for it. We tend to say market makers are blah, blah, blah. And we don't tend to try to analyze to why really this trade came to this point, to why it did the way it did for it to go to actually to certain places. And by me digging so much and learning about this, and I'm trying so much to also understand this concept so much, it's like the market, yeah, there's a market. There are people who are able to influence the market.
Yes.
But they don't control the market.
Well,
Because
they can control the market if they dump the money in and buy up a whole bunch of things and make the thing go up and then pull all their money out. That's the manipulation of the market. Although it don't affect me the way I trade. It really don't.
So technically, what they can do is they can influence the market. And by them influencing them, that is why we say now the big boys have the upper hand, because by them influencing, they're able to. The only issue with us retail traders is that it's liquid. They are trading $1 billion. You are trading.
Absolutely.
So even some of them, they are able to, like, some of them it goes against them, but they're able to hold it.
Yep.
It's like whatever has been happening to Bitcoin. A lot of people have been afraid taking the money. The big boys, somebody who invested like 3 million or what, is not afraid. You just know this thing eventually will go up. But you with your small money, you are getting margin calls.
Yeah.
So with you oh. Okay, I hope this will not shout again. So it's technically just being able to understand the level you are and being able to come up with your good risk and everything. And when you've been able to really analyze that for yourself, you understand all the parameters, all these shits that is happening in the market, like going down, coming up, will not really affect you because you'll be taking ownership of whatever is happening.
Exactly. And that's what I do. Like, I can't control what they do, right?
Yes.
I don't know if, when, maybe doing news, but we know news, if you in a trade, you know, you shouldn't stay in a trade. And I mean, I used to trade through news till GNT just freaking screwed me up royally. You know, plus even with that, you know, another thing is the brokers. These
Yes.
brokers, when I look at GNT 1 hour on gold, and then I look at TradingView 1 hour on gold, TradingView might have the price way up here, and then I look at GNT and the price, it don't even look the same. And you can't really mitigate that. I don't know if that's my fault, because maybe I should be going with a authorized broker and not a broker that's not, what you say, they not
Verified.
they're
They're
not
not
verified.
they're not
Like,
controlled by the CMA.
like exactly like with Donnie's GNT, you know, what we using on MetaTrader 5. I've sent him so many screenshots. I'm like, yo, what is up with this? Now I've gotten money back, but I had to fight him for it, and only because he's in it and know the people, he was able to get my money back, right? But just say I'm with Yokity Yoke broker, I don't know nobody, and they do that to me, and I'm trying to fight my thing, you know, that's very difficult. So it's a lot of things that you look at, but I guess you have to take ownership of trying to take the easier, cheaper way out, opposed to blaming them. That's what they do. So maybe that's the answer to that, to go to a regulated broker.
Yeah, exactly. And on the broker part, that is something I actually stopped just a little bit on GNT because of that. And
Before you go further, can you tell me whether you know whether or not the demo versus the live is different? Because on my demo, I don't really seem to see so much difference.
so technically, you'll find on the demo, you'll find everything is going with how the real market is going. But when you're doing a live, is when you start seeing like some things which are a little bit different. Like you are looking in your Owanda chart, the market is here, but in your thing, like that thing sold fast.
Exactly.
Like, no.
Exactly. And Donnie even said to me, you know, he got to talk to the people that's putting the money up for you. Like, it's people that's coming in, is putting the money up for you to be able to do it. And they're
The
the ones
liquidity
that,
providers.
yeah, they're the ones that's manipulating it. But
Yeah.
what I don't know, I guess maybe I need to just find an authorized broker. The only thing is, authorized brokers don't give you much leverage.
Yes, yes, yes. Because you know about like I've been doing a research on that, the market makers, the box brokers, the ECN brokers, like those types of brokers. And that is something that you really have to do your background research, because these other brokers, which are they're kind of verified, you can actually report that and you'll be compensated, that are controlled by the CMA.
Yeah, but it's difficult for me to do that, especially if I'm in one that I know the person who's in it.
Yeah,
And
but
then they name my name as I was a snitch.
so, but you see now, if you go to if you're using brokers that are not verified or blah blah blah, you cannot report them to anything because it's your own choice. You cannot take them anywhere.
What broker you use? But you use something over there that I can't use over here, right?
Right now, I think Pepperstone is even verified in the US.
Pepperstone?
Yeah, Pepperstone. We have a very good broker in the US as well. It's called what? I'm forgetting the name, but I'll
Send it to
actually,
me because
yeah, I'll
maybe
send it
I
to
would.
you.
Who?
And actually, by the I was having this discussion as well with Diana Hardy. There's one day I had Jimani talking about it. I don't know, Jimani right now is back in JT, but also Jimani was talking about it
He's back
when
in GNC.
yeah, Jimani, I've actually heard him talking about GNT. Like now, GNT is good because he just knows somebody who is able to.
Donnie.
Yeah. So there are actually some other good brokers that you can actually
Actually,
use.
I actually
Mhm.
he just put out something RXY or RXK or some broker that's regulated,
Mhm.
and he's just setting up, and I may go with them because they are a regulated broker.
Yeah.
They may not give that much leverage, but he's setting up this thing where you can, I guess, put your money in there and trade them in there, and it's regulated. But he also has a copy, like when Neo calls the calls.
Mhm.
I think he said you have to put a minimum of 1,000,
Or
and
the copy trading.
when Neo calls the call, they're gonna take the call. They're gonna, you know, you're gonna be in. So you got 30 people. I'm just saying, with $1,000, now they take the call. They take that trade, whichever Neo call, which has been doing pretty damn good though. You know, the last one I did it didn't do it, but I'm sometimes skeptical about, following people, but
Yeah.
they'll take those trades for you, or you can do your trades on your own. So you can either have one if you want it with them to take the trade for you when you learning, and you could take the trade for you, and it's a regulated broker. So I may look into that, you know what I mean? And maybe it's new. So I just want to see feedback from people, and plus I'm on my demo, so I don't really care,
Yeah.
you know, right now. But when I'm with my money, give me the benefit of the doubt that I know what I'm doing, and I did all the right things, and not be manipulated because you trying to make money on your non-regulated brokerage account. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So that
Mm.
part, that
Yeah. So, and I think leverage is good, but sometimes also remember that leverage also works the other way around for you. So that is something that and right now if you're telling me that the leverage you're going to give me is this and this, for I'm going to give you this, I'm like, okay, it's good, but I know that also works against me. So I better just go with that small leverage. It's okay with my correct risk management and everything, get my good money
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
what I
good.
think I want to do too. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. Maybe transfer, like I'll leave for the moment of maybe
Mhm.
1,000 over there. I think I only got like maybe 2,000 or something. Move the other one to the broker firm, maybe fund it a little bit more, and just try to work on it little by little. Maybe I'll start with my .01. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Because like I say, it's not like I do want to make a lot of money, but if I just want to make sure what's more important that I understand what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's more important than making the money. Because like I said, I was making $4,000, $6,000 in a day,
Mhm.
and I was good. I was like, shoot, you can't tell a sister nothing. People was like, how you? Wait a minute, you just started. How you? But I was doing it because I was holding them trades though.
Yeah.
I was going in a lot of drawdown because in my brain it got to come back up.
Yeah.
So and then eventually when I start losing, my psyche telling me, okay, I don't want to keep losing $1,000. I don't want to keep losing $1,000. So now I'm hesitant.
Yeah.
I don't want to take the trade. Nah, get that. I'm going to my demo account because something I ain't get. I'm missing something. And I was missing a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And let me see. I think FTMO, they just got back to the US, so I'm gonna send you that.
Who?
FTMO. Let me
That's a broker?
Yeah. You remember you asked me about the funded that is regulated in the US, the funded.
Oh, that's the one that you was talking
The
about?
prop firm?
What do you need to get in there? You got to pay them?
Yes, like you can purchase an account. You
How much
remember the
it
one
cost?
that you had?
Yeah, that kind of made me don't like them because I
Yeah.
had one and I was doing good and I was making money. And all of a sudden I couldn't access the account. So I
So
lost my
FTMO,
$4,000,
yeah,
you know, because I couldn't get in touch with nobody. They was talking about
yeah,
they was changing their stuff. So that kind of made me feel really bad about these brokerage. I don't
yeah,
know
and
if they regulated.
that is the bad side with especially those pro firms. They come and then some of them just blush out. Now, FTMO has done. I've signed a contract with, I think, with Oanda. So Oanda is regulated and done everything. So that is, I've I've gotten very huge feedbacks from a lot of traders, and if you can even look, you do your own
With this
back check.
FDMO, with this prop thing,
Yes, yes.
and they
I'm
say you can only, how much you had to pay for that $6,000 thing?
For me, no, for the 6,000 is for the, I don't know if Funded Next is regulated in the US. I'll have to check
Oh,
that. Yeah, I'll have to check that for you.
so the
That is,
FTMO, the one you're gonna send me, that's a prop firm. So it's like the one I was in. You spend money and they give you,
yes, yes, yes,
you
yes.
know what they give you to play
Yeah,
with?
they have some like for 6K, is it $49 or $13? I'm not sure, or $70 there. I'm not sure.
That's not bad. That ain't like
Yeah.
me spending $4,000. And how long you got to be in that prop firm in that thing before you can actually say you can take money? Like how you have to win how
It's no
much?
limits. Like when you pass the, when you, it depends with what type of account you've taken. Oh, Nelson, sorry. I've seen your text. It's okay, bro. You can rest.
Mm-hmm.
So I've checked what was I saying? You were asking how long
About
does
the
it take?
yeah, and how yeah, like that one you had to make so much, you had to make so much money, and then it will become now you good, and when you make
Yeah, so
your money.
like it depends. Yeah, it depends with the type of account that you have taken. If you have taken a one-step account, okay, a
Mm-hmm.
one-step account, that is, you have to only go to a challenge one step. Like you pass the first challenge one time,
Mm-hmm.
then you get funded.
Mm.
Then when you get funded, you start making money out of it. But you really have to understand the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
I
then you
mean,
can start
I
with,
think those are the ways, those are the good ways where you can make money too, and you can actually get in the trades because you have the capital. Well, you don't have
yeah,
it, but you have it. The leverage, let me put it that way. You have the
exactly, yes.
leverage to take the trade. I just wanted to know what's a good one, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's not so expensive, that don't got no crazy rules. I know that one you could only, I couldn't lose, I forgot what it was.
Mm-hmm.
$300 or so much percent of the whole thing before now, you out. And I never was out, but I was out because they shut it down and it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, I've been robbed quite a number of by clicking into wrong uh funded
Yeah,
accounts, and that has costed me. And it also pissed me off about
yeah.
those.
So
It
what
pissed
what
me.
was the challenge? Like you had to
Sorry?
make how much in order to be able to be funded? Like you had a challenge.
It's 10%.
So if they give you, oh, so you don't know what they give you, but if they give you 6,000, you had to make
Yeah,
6,000.
like if they give you most, I think all of them, if you manage to increase your account by 10%, that means you've qualified
And do they got a
for,
time frame?
sorry?
Do they have a time frame?
No, most of them, they don't have a time frame. Like you can trade at your
And
own pace.
their MT5 is the name you giving me, and it equates good with Oanda.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to let me just send you so
Yeah, I
that.
might look into that.
Mhm.
I mean, because if it's not expensive, the least that can happen is I just lose the little bit money. But if it's expensive,
Okay, there's the link D. Okay, send you a link on WhatsApp. I think
yeah.
for the book, let me just stop sharing this.
Oh, so you gotta sign up and you gotta create an account.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look into that.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
and how and how quick do they respond and how quick do you get signed up?
That is the first thing that I loved about FTMO because their customer care team, their response is very fast.
Now, how can you fund their account? That's another thing. I hate going through this Bitcoin bullshit. Can you fund it through your credit card?
Yeah, I think they have all.
Really?
They
Because I
have,
know the one G Money was
yeah,
talking about. You could use your credit card,
yeah, yeah.
because I hate having to go through Bitcoin and
Mhm.
then lose money to transfer it over, and then they take money to get it over there. And so I
Yeah,
really didn't like that. You know what I mean? I
yes,
did.
yes. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm able to share with you my screen for the FTMO so that we can just look through it, both of us. Right now, I'm using the one called Funded Next from Dubai, which has been performing quite well here down here.
Yeah, but that's not here, right?
Yeah, I just have to check if it because I heard they were working on legalizing it in the US as well for the people for the US.
So which one you think is better between the Fitmo and that
Right
one?
now, FTMO is the best for the US for US.
Okay, so that's the one I'm gonna look at.
Right
You
now,
know,
that is the one I can
I
recommend.
rather a regulated. I rather long as they regulated, they true to form. So it's not like I'm getting on uh uh um MT5 and
Mhm.
it looking like this crazy thing, and I look on TradingView and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's reassuring.
And then, I think for the US, the biggest challenge is normally the tax, the income, those kind of things.
That's the
So,
only thing that you see. You gotta pick your poison. Cause I
yeah.
was gonna ask Donnie, yo, where's because he was talking about they was having a credit card where you could just fund it with the credit card. But I think that so the FTMO that you sending me, I could trade that straight without being funded, or is that the funded?
Sorry?
That FTMO that you sending me, I could
Mm-hmm.
just take my own money and put it there if I wanted to, opposed to going through a funded account, or that's a funded account. You understand what
Uh,
I'm asking you?
I sorry?
Meaning, if I get into this FTMO, let's say I
Mhm.
didn't want they $6,000. I just wanted to put my money in there and play with my money. Do they do that?
Or like no, because they are a prop firm. They're not a broker. Oh, you're there?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're not a broker. They have only done a partnership with Oanda. If you just want to fund your account, you can use Oanda and
Yeah.
trade. Yeah. You can, by the way, you can even use Oanda because I've seen the Oanda thing, and it's only that the leverage is a little bit low. I think it's 1-2 or 1-4. The highest they can give, I think, is 1-4, which
Mm,
is not bad if you're trading your own money, which is good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at that too. I think I had did one FX something. I think I might even have some money in.
Exness.
Hold on, let me see something. Let me look at my uh Tasty FX.
Is it regulated in the US?
I think so.
Okay.
Uh, let me see what, because I might have money in there.
Mm-hmm.
I got $2,000 in there.
What?
Yeah, I haven't even looked at that. So I
You
may
got money everywhere.
yeah. So if I'm making trade on that, let me
Mm-hmm.
see. I've been having that in there when I joined Build.
Oh, uh-huh.
Let me see. I think Tasty FX. Let me just see real quick. It's Tasty. That's the only thing. Tasty FX. Oh, FX regulated.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Tasty FX is a regulated broker in the United States, operated as a registered retail foreign exchange dealer. So I have one really.
Yeah,
Fully
you already
registered to
got one.
offer. But let me see if Tasty FX, I don't know if you could trade gold.
Yeah, that is check.
Can you trade gold? Because that's my thing on Tasty FX. Yeah, what? No, that's forex.com.
No, you cannot trade gold
But see
directly.
that's why I think it's no, you can, yes, you can trade gold with Tasty FX.
Yeah, through affiliate Tasty Trade.
Huh?
Yeah, you cannot trade directly. You
It
can
is a
trade.
separate entity. No,
Yeah,
this is what mine say. You can trade gold with Tasty FX, which offers contract for difference trading on commodities, including gold. Tasty
yeah.
FX provides 24/5 access to spot gold markets, allowing you to speculate on price movement with leverage. It is a separate entity from Tasty Trade, focusing on
Mhm.
Forex and CFD. So they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. So you can. I think they have they have affiliated with some other that you can be able to do that. So it's nice.
Yeah, but I'm wondering maybe because the market is closed, like I don't see a chart.
For
1 hour to go. Oh gosh. Damn. I
what?
I got a I gotta look at this building your thing for insurance at 6.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
it's at 7.
It's now?
7 in an hour. But what I'm saying, I don't know if it's because the market is not open that I don't see a chart.
Yeah, the
Because
market is not yet open, but the chart is there, is frozen. I don't
mine
know.
mine's
You
is
cannot see
not
the
sitting.
chart on your thing,
Let me
on the testy.
let me share.
Okay,
You gotta let me in.
there you go. Allowed.
You see it?
Yes. Oh,
But
okay.
but look at it say, so I don't know what this means. It say balance is 2,000, equity is 2,000, free margin is 2,000. So what they give you, a 1 to 2?
Yes, yes. I think that is a 1:2, probably. Yes. So you want to check what?
I don't see the chart. Even if it's not moving.
Yeah. Click on, I think it's because the market is closed.
That's what I was saying. Maybe it should be showing up shortly. Let me
Yes,
see
yes.
how much I got in GNT. $24.
Uh-huh.
And you know they give you look at all of this margin. Look at this.
Yeah, that's crazy. Mm.
So sometimes I think they make you think that they're giving you something, but they ain't giving you shit. They taking it back. Like you'll come in a trade, you think you getting out, and it's like, no, it didn't reach it on theirs yet. It reached it
Yeah.
on you know, trading view, but you still got a ways to go.
Yeah,
You see how the chart is showing up here and the market wasn't open?
Sorry?
You see the chart is showing up here and the market is not open.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but if I go here, it's not showing anything. And I don't know if it's something I gotta do. Let me see add
Can you
XA.
click on a pair? Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can add XAU USD. It didn't add it.
So you can't find it?
How do you find it?
Can you add? Just
I
click on
just did that. I click
I think
add.
let's find out how fast it is called, because because it is a third party, it is affiliated, so you have to
But I
find
said
out.
when this thing that I looked at, it said
Mhm.
XAU USD.
On you said the broker is called what?
Tasty FX.
Are you able to find, can you go to look under metals? Let's see if you're able to find it.
Oh, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
They're only at MT4.
Oh, okay. So only MT4.
That's all I see. Set up MT4. Let me see if I could add MT5. To
Yeah.
add Tasty FX, I added Tasty FX and add the plus sign and search for XAU USD. That's what I did.
So
let me see if you can go to
Mhm.
market you know where you can see the different. See, I'm here XAU USD. It says 1 hour.
Mhm.
But let me see if the market is open yet. It is.
It is,
And
the market is open. So
so do
what
you
about
say, let me see something, XAU USD .fx?
.fx? Really?
No. Mm-mm.
I don't usually navigate so much using the MT5 on the computer. Let's see. I know there's something you just have to click to in order to incorporate that.
You know, on one of them, you can look at something and see the different pairs.
Yes.
I what is that? Under, is it under symbols?
Click there. Let's see. Uh-huh. That is symbols, custom, sports, FX, USA. So create custom. Try to search there.
Where?
The search tab on top. Yes, yes. Just search gold only.
Just say gold.
Yeah, like just XAU or
That's what I
gold.
did.
Mm-hmm.
See, all it
Nothing.
say is right here, but I don't see
Yeah.
the chart.
Okay, let's click 1 hour, 4 hours. Price, volume. Candlesticks, it's there.
See, it's not
If
showing the chart actually.
Yeah, if you right click.
Let me see templates.
Uh-huh.
Let me do uh let me see neatness template. It don't work on theirs.
Yeah, it doesn't show. Right click again. Let's see bar chart. Line chart template. Refresh. Try to refresh it. Let's see.
How?
Just click on the right click on the screen. You go to refresh there. Nothing.
So, and I don't know how to use MT4.
So is this server on MT4?
I don't know.
Because
this is on MetaTrader 5.
Yeah, this is MetaTrader 5. So you have to get your data on MetaTrader 5. Let's see.
I would have to probably call them and ask them.
Yeah, or maybe are you able to know? Can you go to their website or to their app? Do they have an app or a website? Just go to it. Let's see
Let me
something.
see. I don't even know my Tasty FX login. FX. +80 peers. I know I probably got one. There you go. I think. I guess not. Oh, I don't know.